Hi, this is Bethany with Morgan James Publishing, and today I have the honor of speaking with Rick and Susan McCarthy. And Rick and Susan are the author of Defining Moments, the Transformational Promises of Faith-Based Travel. And this is the essential guide to transforming faith-based travel from a historical tour to a life-changing spiritual revelation experience. Wow, Rick and Susan, I cannot wait to ask you some questions about your experiences and about the book. But thank you so much for joining me. How are you today?
Great.
Excited to be here, Bethany.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, thank you for being here. So, I guess the first question I'd love to ask is why did you two decide to write Defining Moments?
So I had gone to Israel when I was single, and the pastor said, I'm going to guarantee that you're never going to be the same. And I thought, wow, you are really going out on a limb. But he was right. I experienced the Holy Spirit there in ways that I never could imagine. And it just gave me a passion from that trip on. I wanted every trip to have like these God moments to inspire me and to grow me.
The year we got married, we went on a Dream Masters weekend to figure out dreams individually and collectively in different areas of your life for the balance of your life. And out of that came this dream to write this book on faith-based travel. And we made a 5-year plan with it, and it took us 12 years to write the book, but it came out of that calling that God gave us to go forward.
Wow, what a journey to take together to write and publish this book and share your experiences. And I think it's so wonderful. So I guess I have a question about why would a reader maybe choose to read your book when there's so many different travel books available out there? What sets yours apart?
Well, that's a great question, Bethany, because there are a lot of great trips. There are a lot of great faith-based travel books out there. But honestly, I'm not aware of one. And we did extensive research that does what we do. We take all the beautiful head knowledge where you go on a trip like that, the Bible becomes alive. Jesus stood right here. This is so cool. But normally they say, hurry up, get back on the bus. We got 10 more stops today. And ours is, no, let's take an extra half hour at that location and figure out what's relevant to me today to what happened there thousands of years ago. And then let's take another half hour afterwards and let's share with the group what people heard. And it's incredible breakthroughs that happen, incredible vulnerability and intimacy that develops with the group. And then at night after dinner, we get together and continue to say, what'd you experience today? What'd you see in the people here? And what affirmations do you have? What other ahas? What we call defining moments with God, where God gives you something that shows how relevant he is still today to places and situations that happened thousands of years ago.
So an example of that is, you're out in a boat on the Sea of Galilee, in a fishing boat like the disciples were, 2,000 years ago. And you remember the story, you read the story of the waves and the wind and them being so frightened. And you're out on this beautiful lake and you're like, what didn't they get? They had the God of the universe in their boat. How could they have ever been afraid? Well, then the pastor turns it on you, or the trip leader that you've selected, and says, what are you afraid of? Everybody's got a fear. What is it for you? And how can you be afraid? Because the God of the universe is in your boat. And then everybody on the boat that wants to tells what their deepest fear is. And we had like one lady, she had a fear from 50 years ago that had tormented her. She was finally able to speak it out in community on that boat, and she left it on the Sea of Galilee, and she was changed forevermore. It was just beautiful to watch.
So most books, most tours do a great job with the head knowledge, the
Mhm.
history, but the heart is the part we're talking about. So you've traveled halfway around the world, but how about the most important part of your trip is that 12 inches from your head to your heart, to have a life application, transformational experience with the creator of the universe.
Wow, that is so beautiful. What a gift to readers. So, can you tell me a little bit about some of the reader feedback that you've gotten so far? How have readers been reacting to your book? What has stood out to them?
So we had a couple that took it. They weren't with a tour. They were just going to Greece and they wanted to do Paul's journeys their whole life. It was their first time ever going to Greece and Turkey. And they took it and they came back and they said, I don't know what we would have done without this because, yeah, we can get on the internet, we can know the cities we're going to and how to get around. That's easy. But we had a ready-made time with God where we could be there for the specific reason we went, which was to understand what was happening on Paul's missionary tours. And we could experience for ourselves and have breakthroughs on our own. So they were so encouraging. It filled us up to hear that.
We've been giving excerpts of the book to people that have been going to Israel or to Paul's journeys in Greece and Turkey or to Reformation, Germany, Switzerland, England, Scotland, or even short-term mission trips. And they've been able to use that for years now. It's been really great. And so what we really feel is that we hear from people that lead trips that now they know how to add in the heart part, people that go on trips where they're just getting the head part. And now on their own, on the bus and the hotel room at night, they can layer in this application piece for people who are going solo, like Susan just mentioned, and also for the armchair traveler, people that maybe are never going to take any of those trips, but we have a friend who's treating it like a devotional, reading a few pages a day throughout a year to just learn a lot more and make it come alive for him.
And the biggest piece of feedback we've gotten, which kind of breaks my heart, is I wish I would have had this when I went on my Israel trip or my Paul's Journeys trip. And that's again what brought us back to wanting to write the book is once we experienced that, it's like we want everybody who ever goes on a faith journey to always have this kind of tool available. And so we keep telling people, here it is, if you want to have this. Also, it's I don't know, it's a way for you to connect in community in ways that you would never be able to on your own.
And on Amazon, we've got over 40 reviews that have been very generous and very encouraging to read of how it's impacting people.
Wow, Rick and Susan, that's so amazing. And thank you for showing us that cover. I have to say, it's such a beautiful book to hold and to look at. And I know there's so much care and passion that you guys have woven into the book itself. And I'm so glad to hear about some of this early reader feedback and how it really can enhance those journeys for people. And like you said, bridging that gap between mind and heart. And like you said, there's so many practical resources out there as far as the logistics of a trip, but to really make the most of that experience on that heart level is so beautiful. So I know people will probably want to reach out to you guys or learn more information about the book and about you guys. What's the best way for them to reach you or to find more information about you online?
Well, we have our website, definingmomentsbook.com, and on there we have a lot of free resources. Whether people buy the book or not, we just want people to have access. So our entire appendix is on there. There's an excerpt of the book. There's devotionals. There's web links to every location that we have in there to learn more about it and all. And then our email address is definingmomentsbook@icloud.com. And travel is the one thing that after you pay for it, it actually makes you richer. And faith-based travel, that's just an exponential opportunity there.
Amazing. Well, thank you guys so much for spending some time today talking with me about defining moments, and congratulations on the launch of your new book.
Thank you, Bethany. Appreciate it.